Small but mighty, but we are.
See, we're the loyal ones.
That's good. How's everybody? Whoa, who's that guy? What is that? How's everybody? No, it's okay. How is everybody?
Good.
Yeah? I'm freezing, so I'm gonna sit up here and shiver and keep my jacket on for a few minutes until my temperature warms up. So, wow. What's all that white crap out there? Seriously. So, it's crap. Slippery crap. Yeah. So let's see. I recognize some faces, especially from that table. These two. I feel like, all right. So this is good. This is going to be a little different. And at first, when I heard that, not many people were coming and that there was bad weather and people that were planning on coming couldn't come, I thought, well, that kind of sucks because I want to raise as much money as I can for this organization. But then I thought this is really good because it'll give me a good opportunity to really, if anybody has anything that they would like to ask me or talk about, now's your chance. Yeah.
You were amazing at the street jam, and I was
thank you.
It was so much fun. We were in the front row and we had such a good time. I was just curious, were you in between songs at any point, or were you like, okay, this is what I'm doing? You had great song choices, and I was just wondering.
Oh, thank you. I was considering those two. For those of you that don't know, Street Jam is the concert part of Super Soap Weekend in Orlando that we just did, and apparently I rocked it. I don't know, but thank you. But I sang, what did I sing? Jumpin' Jack Flash by the Stones.
By Chuck Berry.
What's that? And School Days by Chuck Berry. And it was, is this on wheels? Yeah, we're just gonna, is it okay if I move this? Okay, there we go. Now I have a clear view of the floor. So, anyway, I did, School Days and Jumpin' Jack Flash, and the question was I ever between songs? I was considering Piano Man.
Oh, it's a great song.
But it is a good song. It's almost 6 minutes long.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And it's not really as upbeat as the other songs that I sang, so I figured, all right, I might as well just stick with those two.
But you had so much fun.
What's that?
So much fun. You look like you were having.
Well, I did. It was really just all about me wanting to have fun, because I know if I have fun, you guys are gonna have fun.
We
So
did. Mm-hmm.
hopefully, okay, good,
We did.
good.
Thank you.
Who's next? Yeah,
Are you going to be at Broadway Cares?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if what's that?
Can we petition that and get
Yeah.
Well, we
I don't
hope
know
you'll
if
be there.
invites have gone out. If there's anything that's been said about it, I have no idea. If they have gone out, then no, I won't be there. But yeah. All right, great. This has been fun. And somebody else, Jennifer, you've got to have a question.
Uh-oh.
According to your sister, you love General Hospital. Yeah? About Jason? What do you want to know about Jason? I'm not the only one now in this room that she hates, so we're in this together. He is, he's probably one of the most genuine and generous people I've met in the business. I took a trip with him and Bradford, and the question is, what's Steve Burton like?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I took a trip to the East Coast. We actually did, was it Danbury, Connecticut, and then 2 shows in New York, 2 shows in Jersey. And Steve would not let me take my wallet out to buy bottled water at the airport. Like, he was just, everything that we needed, he was there for us, and he said, I will hit you if you take your wallet out. So naturally, I don't want to be hit by him. So I let him pay for everything. But just, I mean, that's just a reflection on who he is. To give you an example, there's this really great hamburger joint in Los Angeles called In-N-Out. If any of you ever go
amazing.
go to In-N-Out. Anyway, Steve will just randomly one day order the In-N-Out truck. It's this truck that has a grill in it and everything and a full staff. He'll order the truck to come to set and make burgers for the entire crew and cast. Everybody, we work on a 5-floor building, and everybody who holds like even an office job in the intern's office down to, the people that hold our boom microphone and the cast, he'll order lunch for everybody. And he does that probably once a month. So he's a real gentleman.
Sent it here.
So, what's that?
You should have sent it here.
He should have what?
Sent it here.
Johnny, it's a little scary at times.
You know, if I had $1 for every time somebody asked me that, I could quit my job.
I mean, it's kind of.
I'd make good money. It is.
Sometimes it's fun to watch, but sometimes I'm kind of like, ew.
It is. It is. It's definitely not somewhere I expected the relationship to go. Sister, I still wasn't expecting it. But it's somewhere where the story has gone, and the best explanation, that I have for it is that it's a love story without, the intimacy, and people have that, and, all joking aside, people, mothers and sons, fathers and daughters, they have this unbreakable bond. And the thing with Johnny and Claudia is they have been through so much crap together. I'm gonna put this down because it's weird just looking at the slideshow on myself. It's like a mirror, but it's not. Anyway, it's almost a thing of, she feels this overbearing burden to protect him, and he's her brother, and he feels that she is coming from a place of love, and I don't know if Johnny realizes that it's that weird. I think to him it's just like, all right, we're family, and this is, we gotta look out for each other. But I'll admit it's a little off.
Yeah.
Yes?
I have two questions actually. Because I noticed I don't see your credit, like your picture on the page in the beginning. I didn't know if you were in contract for a
I am.
long term.
Oh yeah, I've been on contract for over a year.
Is Johnny gonna cheat on Lulu and Maxie?
It's a good question. It's a good question. What I can say is that the writers will be exploring that. And it's not, I didn't say yes or no. All right? But it's going to be a relationship that will be explored. And there's some stuff coming up that's really interesting that I think everybody's going to like. They're giving us some really fun stuff to play, so we'll see. Yeah. Do you have a question? Hey, buddy.
I wanted to know, how was it filming the scenes in the apartment? Because those were hysterical.
Oh my God. And that's kind of what I meant when, how are the scenes in the apartment? How was it filming them? Was the question. A blast. About, 4 or 5 months ago, the four of us have become pretty close friends, which is a lot of fun. Bradford, Kirsten, Julie, and I have become pretty good friends. And we said that we want some sort of crisis where the four of us get trapped like in an elevator together or in a blizzard together or something. And then they wrote that, the four of us are kind of living together. And we have so much fun. I wish you could see the outtakes because some really interesting shit happens during those outtakes. What's that?
I've never laughed so hard.
It's
watching.
You should see what happens between takes. The stuff that they can't put on TV during the day. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The four of us get along well, and I think as actors we feed off of each other pretty well. So, yeah. Yes.
So now that Johnny has left his family, is there anywhere you want his storyline to go?
It's interesting. I've gotten that question a lot, and I'm very...
Sorry.
No. It's...
No, just kidding.
It means it's a good question.
Yes, exactly. No, but I think about that a lot, and it's a question that I don't know if I know the answer to. I do know that I like how he grapples with being a normal man and being a mob guy, and that internal and external struggle that he has of, to be or not to be, basically. And it's a lot of fun to explore that as an actor because there are so many layers, there are so many different things to play with that struggle. And if I had my choice, obviously being the bad guy is always fun because I feel like you have to reach a little further, you have to dig a little deeper to play a villain because a villain doesn't realize that they are a villain. Everything that they do is justified. Every action that they do is justified in their head. So it's fun kind of tap into that psyche. But where do I see him headed? I don't know. I would imagine the writers probably want to fix him. You know, I think that any character, when you watch a movie or a TV show, the way they start is very different from the way they end. But the difference is our show doesn't have an end, at least not that I know of. But so my guess is he'll probably either be fixing cars soon or something. But don't quote me on that because it hasn't been written. Yeah.
What's the coolest and wildest thing fans have given you,
Mm.
present-wise?
Rick Springfield CD?
Rick Springfield CD was awesome.
You have to get it signed.
Yes. Coffee cards. Get a lot of coffee cards, which are nice. One thing that somebody recently sent me, which was just totally unnecessary, it was very sweet. I felt bad accepting it. Those of you who are at Street Jam know that I play the harmonica. And there's a harmonica that Stevie Wonder plays called a chromatic harmonica, which has like, I think, 20 reeds, and you can change. Each reed has, you know, on a normal harmonica, has 2 different sounds that it can make. It can make 2 notes. With this chromatic, you push a button and it makes 4 different sounds. So it's very hard to play. It's a very complex instrument, and this one is plated in gold, and it like retails for $300 to $400. And you know, I felt bad accepting it because I know times are tough right now, and there are a lot of things that people could be spending their money on aside from me. And I mean, it was very sweet, but yeah, that's probably the coolest thing I've gotten. Who else has a question? Yes, Carol. A round of applause for Carol and the ladies at M.A.D.D. We're working their tails off the last couple months to make this right. And, you know, like I said, it's unfortunate that we have the weather that we do and the economy's in the shape that it is in, so we couldn't really pack the room. But your efforts have not gone unnoticed, so thank you. Yeah.
I'm curious about Bruce White. And really like him to be off the show. He's such a nasty man.
Really?
Yeah. I'm curious as to who I am.
Yeah, boo.
You mean
Yeah.
his character or his real life character?
No, his character on the show.
Because he's
Yeah, oh my God,
he
it's
was so
great.
nice with him. Anthony.
Plays my father.
Oh, he's funny, that guy.
He's a different person, much different person than we see on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's he like?
He is, he's really the antithesis of his character. He's a great, the question is, how is Bruce White's the actor that plays my father in real life compared to his character? And you blinked.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing out.
You're welcome. Anyway, Bruce is great. The funny thing about Bruce is, the one similarity that he has to his character is that he invited some of the castmates, basically the whole Zakara clan and their significant others, he invited over for dinner. He and his wife cooked this insanely delicious dinner and gave us a tour of the house. And Bruce lives literally, you know, you don't see very many farms in Los Angeles, and you're driving down the street and you see this big red barn in the middle of the street, and it's like, who the hell lives there? Of course, Bruce does. And he said, let me give you a tour of my gardens. And anybody who watches the show actively knows that he's really big, you know, into gardening in the show. And that was just coincidence. I asked him if the writers knew that about him, and then they decided to incorporate that into the script. They didn't. It just happened. Anyway, he's got these really extravagant vegetable gardens and rose gardens, and I mean, it's beautiful. So he's great. He's really the opposite of who his character is in person, and he's hilarious. Very funny, as you can probably tell from watching the show. Well, originally he was supposed to be on the show for, I think, 3 months. He started in October, November, and they said, January, you'll be done. And now it's next January. So I hope he's not going anywhere, because he's a lot of fun to work with. He pushes me as an actor to go places that I wouldn't normally go, or that I would default to an easier choice. But with him, I have to kick it up a notch, and it's great. Keeps me on my toes. Who's next? Who's my next victim? Come on. Yeah.
Can you do some impressions?
You asked for it.
Yeah, I did. I wish I had my sunglasses because I would do Jack, but
Borat.
he is not here. He is making shit in the bathroom. He had the kielbasa for dinner last night. He is not well. Next.
Have sunglasses?
I don't
For the
know.
bright snow?
Someone's got to have questions out here. I know we're a small group, but come on. Nothing? Yeah.
So Jeannie Francis was just back not
Mhm.
too long ago, and you looked, no offense, you did a great job. You looked very starstruck when you had your scene with her.
Really?
Sorry, you did a great job.
Okay.
But how was that acting with
I actually wasn't starstruck at all. The choice for the actor was, okay, here's this woman who has woken up, who's been in a coma or in a vegetative state or comatose state for however many years, and this is my one chance to make a good impression. So that's, if you saw any nervousness, that's where it
wasn't
came from.
nervousness.
So, okay.
No, you were nice.
But it was fun to work with her. Nobody else, huh?
Can you tell you the story about like when you first got recognized, like when you bought the magazines at the store? I like that story.
Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't the first time, but it was very funny. I was this was before my fan event in Los Angeles, so for Fan Club Weekend, we all host these fan events, and it was just as I had been on the cover of, I think, Digest it was, and I decided that I did a raffle at my fan event, and I wanted all profits went to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. So I was racking my brain trying to think of really good raffle items that everybody could win to entice people to buy tickets and, in essence, donate to the MDA. So I thought, oh, perfect, I'll go and get some of these magazines that I'm on the cover of, and I'll sign them. So it's a really weird experience buying a magazine that you're on the cover of, because you almost want to put them on the checkout line face down.
Make Becky buy.
But exactly. But they have to turn them over to scan them. So sure enough, here's this man buying 3 issues of Soap Digest. And the guy at the checkout counter, turned them over and he scanned it. He said, "So what page are you on?" Jokingly. And I, kind of sheepishly said, "Well, that's me on the cover." He's like, "Oh, shit!" And then he proceeds to go, "Johnny Zakar in my line. Check this out. Johnny Zakar, look at this." He's like, "Can I have one of these?" I said, "Well, you do work here. I think you gotta buy one." But anyway, it was a really funny experience because he had to announce, and the grocery store was very crowded, so he had to announce to everybody there that Johnny Zakar was in his line. And
Kind of like what about what Bradford was saying with you and him and Dwayne Reed getting some water in the city?
oh yeah, it was a very similar thing. The lady that was checking us out at the drugstore in New York, when we were there, we were buying like gummy bears and water at 2:00 in the morning. And,
Random.
what's that?
Random.
Yes.
Gummy bears. Well,
But he was with Bradford.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And orange soda and barbecue chips, right? You know what it is?
He's adorable. Tell a story.
So anyway,
I'm sorry. Don't want to
It's
cut off
okay.
the child.
Hi. Hi, buddy. So anyway, we were in this drugstore checking out, and the lady looks at us and says, "Oh, you guys look familiar." And it's always, "Did we go to high school together? Or did we go to college? Where'd you go to college? Where'd you grow up?" No. And then she goes, "Wait a minute. Are you on TV?" And then we proceeded to tell her, yes, we're on General Hospital, and she had a little minor freak out. It was really cute. So it's always interesting because in Los Angeles, people are very
Used to it?
used to it and low key. And I mean, you've got me, and then you've got Brad Pitt. So that's, people will
I'd rather
make
see you.
a big, well, thank you. Speak for yourself. But people in LA are more, I would maybe anesthetized to seeing people that they see every day on television. So when I go out of town, it's always interesting to see people's reactions, and the first question is, "What are you doing here?" So it's always fun.
I have two questions. One is, when was it like the first time that you recognized that in public? And second, does it ever like annoy you when people call you like Johnny and not Brandon?
No, I mean, I realize that's just the way it is. You know, that people know our character names better than our real names. But, you know, it's one of those things that, A, you don't see our names roll in the beginning of the show, you know, for the credits, you see our faces. And we're in everybody's living rooms 5 days a week as Johnny, as Lulu, as, you know, whoever the character is. So I don't take it personally, because if I took everything personally, then it would be pretty rough
At
road.
least they recognize you.
What's that?
Because at least they still recognize you.
Right, exactly. And then the question is, what was it like the first time I was?
What was the first time that you were recognized for your role, and like, how did you feel?
I felt good. It's weird because I still walk around thinking that, you know, that the anonymity still exists, and it does in a sense when I'm places around people that, you know, don't really watch daytime. But it sometimes throws me off when somebody comes up to me and says hello, because my first thought and instinct is, oh, did we go to school together? You know, why is this person coming up to me? But then I realize, and it never gets annoying. If it got annoying, then I would obviously be doing the wrong thing. And it's rewarding knowing that, you know, what I do, people recognize it, and I reach them to the point where when I'm out, they want to say something and say hello. So I like it.